Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people? It's Door Shutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of Craftoria. And today, we're going to try and see about getting into this Reformation shenanigans. Not 100% sure, but I've got everything I need, which is the Mercury Catalyst. I think I'm actually going to kind of place this here kind of closer together. I think the book said I could do this kind of shenanigans, so we shall see. Kind of just like that. And we're going to unvisualize. I think this should work. So we need to link a pedestal. Okay, so let's grab that wand, which I think is this thing right here. Nope, that's not the actual, like, crafting of it. This thing right here. So Mercurial Wand. So how does one link? How does one do? So that converts it down into basically energy. Where is the actual flux piece thing that I'm looking at? Sulfuric flux. Right click the target block. Pedestals. Do I need to, like, pick these up? Oh, I need to... Hold on. So do I need to pick this up? And then put it back down? Okay, there's no point in using the wand. Okay. And then... I mean, I think we're good to go, right? So basically, from what I understand, because I did look into this a little bit, is... So for Crying Obsidian, we're just going to look at this again. So to do this right here, the Reformation, we need to put the Crying Obsidian here in the beginning. So let's actually make Crying Obsidian again. So we're going to go over here and just right-click, and that will make the Crying Obsidian sulfur. Okay. And then that is going to be put here. So that is our target, right? And then our target will then need something that is similar. So Crying Obsidian is Earthian matters. Let's see. Theurgy. Do I have the ability to look up Earthian? I don't think I do. So we can look up Crying Obsidian. And let's see. So problem is I can't really tell 100% what these actually are. Oh, there we go. So hold shift. That's what we're looking at. Clay, terracotta. Okay, so we want to grab probably like clay, the clay balls. And we're going to go toss these into here. And that will allow for us to get sulfur of the same, right? The Earthian matters. And then I really need to put that over here. And then that should result. I'm hoping. So if I do this... And we still got the base. So that's basically how you go about making multiple, right? So if we need to probably grab some more mercury shards. There's probably better ways to automate this stuff using the actual mod itself. But realistically, the only reason I got into this is because I need a lot of Crying Obsidian. And this is a looks like a very effective way to do it. We really didn't spend that much time. Of course, if I went through and was a normal person and just followed the guide, I probably would have done this quicker. But honestly, I just like to poke and prod at mods sometimes and see if I can figure it out a little bit on my own. or if there's a way to go around and just do it in a different route, which is just my personal preference. You guys probably shouldn't follow that methodology because it's not working half the time. But hey, that is a-okay. That is the fun of modded Minecraft. You don't have to follow instructions all the time. Sometimes it's a good idea, but not all the times. In this case, it was definitely a good idea to follow it. But I need several pieces of Crying Obsidian, so I'm going to keep on keeping on with this. And yeah, this is fantastic. Definitely not complicated as much as I made it to be, I guess. And yeah, so definitely excited. I wish I could attach my energy system to this because that would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Just seeing if there's anything else. So there's like the digestion vat, the fermentation vat. I mean, realistically, I'm going to stop looking at this mod here because I could keep going, but I think as of right now, I've got everything I need. I'm just going to keep repeating this process for quite a bit to get this going, really, right? To get as many pieces as I need, which I think I'm still on tier 3, I think is this one. But I need Crying Obsidian. And I think that's it. I will need, of course, nether stars, so there will be some parts of me having to go grab a whole bunch of nether stars. I don't know if I have enough dragon's breath either, though. I do not. And I need more than that because I am doing multiple miners all at once. So I will need to get more dragon's breath, so I may have to go fight the ender dragon again. Fight a whole bunch of withers. We've got enough essence, enough netherite, enough isnium. So right now we just definitely are coming down to the very last where I need a handful of resources, which I don't commonly have in this pack specifically. So, oop, I did not mean to do that. I'm working on something which is going to be part of the whole ore system that we're going to be making in the next couple of episodes, basically, which is not going to be pertaining to the Eldritch Miner yet, because we still need to obtain the mining dimension pieces, or cores is that what they're called? They're called cores. Mining dimension core piece. Okay, we're going to need those, so we're going to have to build this system before we can really get that, because they're going to take a while to obtain. So, we are going to build a couple of things here. So first things first, we're going to grab a modular router with a vacuum module, and we're actually going to blacklist diamonds on this. And I don't know the range of this, by the way. So it looks like it's a little bit far out, which is fantastic. We need it to be at least one block out, so I'm not really worried if it is too far. And actually, I think I want a gem, spirit attuned gem, rather than a diamond in here, and then change this to whitelist. Okay, and then we're gonna grab a cinder module. Just tier 1 is fine. And we're going to send up. And we're going to grab the functional storage drawer. Okay. Put that right there. And then we're going to grab another modular router with a dropper module. We're going to whitelist diamonds, and we're going to drop on the down direction. Okay, so what should happen is actually grab a demagnetization coil. And we're going to put that right here for right now. So we're going to whitelist this and this. Actually, I think it's blacklist, not whitelist. I don't ever remember, but we'll just go with it. So we toss a diamond. Okay, so we need to turn this onto whitelist. Okay. And I picked that up because I was standing too close. So let's grab some more diamonds. Okay, so that is not containing itself. Very well. Okay. I don't know why it's bouncing around so much. Okay, let's pull the diamonds out here for a second. Let's try putting this up a couple more blocks. So, like, right here. So why are you picking up diamonds? I changed you. So now it appears to be doing okay. But I still want to do a cover. And I may actually move this up here. Okay, and that way we can cover this with full blocks. So, of course, we'll want to have access to this. I probably want to grab something from our system. The wireless connector, wireless access point. What is it called? Wireless connector. That was right on the first one. And just feed in diamonds until this is full. I will probably get that whole control set up here in a little bit. Of course, we'll be using integrated dynamics to make sure the quantity of this is like, 2,000. If it's 2,000, shut off the AE2 system portion. That won't be too difficult. We'll do that here in a little bit. But this is the foundation for that. The next one we're going to need to automate, because this is the portion that we were working towards, which is the Spirit Attuned. And I don't think we have a way to make those without a crafting table. So I think, let's see, and I don't think the simple compacting drawer would work for this. Nope. Okay. Wanted to make sure. Sometimes it may, sometimes it may not. So formulaic assembler, or assemblycator. Dr. Doofenshmirtz was here, apparently. We can grab this thing. And we're also going to want to grab a crafting formula. And I'm thinking that we probably put this here as well. But I don't think... Actually, I can grab a pusher upgrade. That's fine. Just say pusher upgrade on the up direction. And then let's get the recipe in here, which is the Spirit Attuned Crystal. How do I do this again? Okay, so we can only use normal items. We can't pull stuff out of EMI. Okay. Stock controls on. Craft available items. Auto mode on. Okay. So then the input bottom, output top, and that will start going. And then kind of hoping. So I'm hoping that I can actually kind of sneak this back here, but I think this may interrupt the actual drop. Nope, looks like it's fine. Perfect. And then that should allow for us to get the Spirit Attuned crystals that we need, which is awesome. Quickly disable this real fast. So I can lock this drawer. And then we'll grab another functional storage drawer that will allow for us to make sure we're getting enough of these crystals. Auto eject on, input. Fantastic. All right. So I should be able to take like a stack of diamonds and just let this thing rip. Just like so. And then we should see this is actually doing pretty well. And we can actually, I think this thing takes upgrades, doesn't it? Yeah, energy and speed. I don't really need a whole lot of speed upgrades or energy, but we'll do full on energy and then 2 on speed. Perfect. Okay, so that will work. That is beautiful. That will get us the one portion of this whole thing, which is, let me actually find it here. So it's this right here. So this is the repair miner ritual, which is what we're trying to obtain. So the next portion of this is getting the Otherworld Essence, which is Spirit Fire, and also Demon's Dream Essence, which is also Demon's Dream Fruit or Demon's Dream Seeds, and that means we're going to need to make a farm. So that is the next portion of this. I will have to make some kind of automatic farm somehow. And I'm thinking we may want to get into just our things for this. That might be a good introduction into that mod. A good reason to get into it, nevertheless. So, I am going to look at that. Let's actually just take a peek at that here. Okay, so just dire things. First things first, we're going to get some goo. The first goo we're going to get is the Primogel goo. And then we can actually already just go for the Blaze Bloom. And then we can then go for the Void Shimmer. And then we can go for the Shadow Pulse goo, which I actually do have Echo Shards. They're just not in the system. Echo Shards. And we can get the Shadow Pulse goo. So normally you would go tier by tier. But since we have all of the available materials, we can basically skip through a large portion of the progression path. Okay? So with this one, what do we actually need to feed this guy? If we set him down... So Skulk, Catalyst, and I think that's it, right? There's nothing else? So just Skulk. We don't have a lot of Skulk. I don't think there's a way for us to get more Skulk, right? Because this guy's not producing any. So let's go over behind the Theurgy stuff over here on the right. And I probably should just move this whole thing down a little bit, but that's okay. So let's grab some cobblestone. And what we're going to want to look at, let's actually go right here. So we're going to set down the Shadow Pulse goo here. We're going to feed this with a piece of Skulk. And what we're going to grab is the iron blocks. First thing, because we need to get Ferrocore. And this should be pretty quick with Ferrocore, of course, because this is the highest tier goo. Alright, it's almost there. Okay. You can break it, and then we'll just go again. And then we'll do probably a stack or two of this. And then we will then move on to getting the Blaze Bloom, which will be fantastic. And this thing does need to be fed again. So when it makes a noise like the Warden, that means that's when we're feeding it. So let me get this one done, and then we'll move on to the gold. And I'll be right back. Alright, we're getting gold placed down here. Kind of just jumped into it. So one thing I did realize is you get a 3 to 4 chance, I do believe, with most of the times you break the ore. We actually do have a recipe in here that is 1 to 4. So I'm actually breaking this with Silk Touch now, just so that way I'm actually getting more of this and not really wasting any time, because I just go through this in the enrichment chamber, smelt it up, and then I get the Blaze Gold, which is fantastic. So the next tier after this is, of course, Diamond. And with Diamond, we are going to just place down the Diamond blocks. And we will get, I don't even know, Celeste Gems, I do believe. and that will be fantastic. So I'm going to get a stack of this, which actually now is, I think, 16, right? And that will give us a stack. And then after that, I will do diamonds, and we'll, of course, do that on camera because, of course, I want to show you guys what they look like and all of that fun jazz. So I will be back when I get a stack. All right, we're jumping into diamond here, which, of course, each tier we go up, the slower they're going to be because, of course, you can only get up so high with the tiers, which I think the next one, of course, is netherite after this, netherite blocks. And so once we get that, is it netherite? Do we have another tier? Hold on. Netherite. I think we have a tier of that, right? It's Eclipse Alloy, isn't it? Yes. Raw Eclipse Alloy. Perfect. I just have to remember these. I'm kind of just going off of memory here. So we are going to just keep on keeping on. So I'm going to do another stack. This is Celesta Gems. Of course, I'm going to do the Enrichment Chamber. And this one does not need to be smelted after the fact. It becomes Celesta Gems. And these are really vital because these are actually what you're going to be using for the more advanced versions of the machines from Just Dire Things. And that is fantastic. So also tools, all of that fancy jazz. I don't think there's really anything else in here that's like needing to be brought up. All right, so we are going to do the next tier, which is netherite, and I'm actually doing it before I get over here, pressing the start button here. So this is going to give us Eclipse Alloy. Eclipse Alloy is kind of used for the tools of the Just Dire Things mod. Not really too much else. We do have the Swapper and the Paradox machines, but overall, tools, flight, we could actually look at getting that if we really wanted to, which I may look at getting that because that sounds like a chef's kiss because we actually are, 30 plus episodes in and I still don't have flight. And usually by now, by like episode 10, 15, a lot of the times I have flight. And so that might be something I will look at. And honestly, probably do because I was thinking we could go for the like quantum armor, but that is a very long way away, especially because if we do the mecha suit, which is the default for Craftoria, this would require a lot of getting through mechanism. And so I think what we'll do is we will just do Just Our Things for now, and then maybe one day we'll get the mecha suit and all of its pieces and bobs and things like that, bits and bobs and all of that jazz. But I'm going to go through all of this netherite, which is 30 blocks. With this being smelted up, we can now do what we need to do, which first things first, we're going to just get the hoe that we need. Of course, this is going to allow for us to get the crop farm just to be a little bit better, a lot of it better, let me be honest. And that will auto do harvesting. Like basically once the crop grows, it will harvest automatically, also have growth effects on it, and we can add what is called drops teleporter onto this, and that will allow for us to then even push the crops into a chest, which is going to be fantastic. So let's actually grab that as well while we're here. Like we need a couple ender chests here. And where is the recipe? There it is. And then we need the upgrade blank. Let's grab a handful of those because we're going to need them. All right. And then I do believe we require a smithing table for this. So this plus this equals this, which now has a drops teleporter not bound. All right. So back in the occultism building, we're going to go downstairs and we're going to look at just getting the chest set up. I think we should be golden to probably put it down here, but I don't even know where how we'd even put it down here. So we may have to come up with something else. Actually, I've got a spot for it. Since we're going to be doing the ore processing down in this area, I'm actually going to put it underground, just here, and we'll see if we can get this cruising. So, where do we want to put this? Because the ore system's technically above this by a little bit. So let's go over here. We'll just use this space, the space we have provided. And I'm going to just do a small set of the crops here. So we probably want to grab worms as well from Actually Additions. And we also want to grab dirt, of course, because that's still a basic requirement. And we're going to just do this. Which this is going to be... Oop, I did not mean to set that there. I should place the worm here. And this will actually allow for the farmland to be watered, basically. So that is fantastic. So the other thing is, of course, what we want to do before we actually place all this, because I kind of just messed up, is actually get an inventory. So this is... Water would be here. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the storage, most likely, we'd want to put right here. So shift right click on this. And then I'm hoping that's binding those. And then the worms only work in a 3x3 area, so just keep that in mind. Oh. So that's not what we want to have happen. So we may want to place the worms after the fact. Or if we can just do it quick enough. It looks like it's the best option. Just like so. Okay. And then I'm going to build out the rest of the field here real quick. And that will allow for us to then put the Demon Dream Fruit down and we'll start growing it. The whole farm planted. And now we are waiting for this to grow. But this should be pretty decent on speed. Overall, I mean, it's not going to be the fastest, right? We could add lily pads of fertility and things of that sort to make this even quicker. But I think as of right now, this should be pretty darn quick. And I don't think these things have a season on them, so that's another good thing. We just made sure plenty of light, all the worms are placed, all of the actual farmland is the Eclipse alloy, you know, with the Eclipse hoe. And that is fantastic. Of course, each tier of hoe, by the way, has a different type of dirt or different type of farmland that comes with it. The base tier and I think the second tier don't have drops teleport. So if we just look up hoe, just dire things, hoe, these two don't have drop teleports. This one has auto harvest, while this one doesn't. And this one, of course, has drops teleport and drops teleport. I think the biggest difference between these is the speed at which the farmland can grow the crop, which is, of course, the biggest thing. So definitely we are cruising. We're going to be going. You can see that we're actually doing pretty decent. And, of course, we're going to get a lot more seeds than we are anything else, which is a good thing, right? Because the seeds are going to be usable to make the Demon Dream Essence as well as the crop itself, which is the Demon Dream Fruit. So that is a-okay. And of course, we don't have to replant. We don't have to do anything else. It just grows. So if we grab the crafters, the things we did for Mechanism, and we set this to do Demon Dream Essence here with the seeds and also the Demon Dream Fruit. So I'm thinking we put one here, and then we just have like an ender chest. Let's actually set the ender chest up. Ender chest. Looks like we need to make some ender pearl or get some more ender pearls here. I will work on that. But we have two different chests. So we only have one chest right now. So I will need to go grab... Oh, actually, there we go. I have some hearts in here, don't I? How many? I have quite a few hearts in here. That's perfect. Okay, we can grab two blank ender chests. And I'm thinking we can go for like cyan dye, maybe. Make it extra unique. Okay. And then we can just set this up here. And then, of course, I will grab the crafters and stuff and do that off camera. You guys have seen me mess with that this episode, so I don't think there's really a need for me to go over it again. But we will just have... Actually, I think the only thing that we'd have to do is make sure we have, like, a hopper upgrade. The hopper upgrade would allow for us to push out of this inventory, which, unlike the functional storage, we would need this instead of that pusher upgrade. So let's actually snag this bad boy. And I would say on the left, we're going to push, and on the left, or on the right, we're going to push. And then since these are going to be set recipes, we should not allow for any other items in there. So that should be exactly how we do that. And actually, I guess we could just quickly make sure. Let me craft those real quick. Let's just test it. I'll get them set up, and then I'll show you guys it working. And of course, if that doesn't work, we will address and do it. So it looks like this is correct, that it will only push the items that are available in the crafting recipe, which is fantastic. So I've just got stock control on, auto mode on, of course the pattern encoded, and that seems to be working just fine. So we can then get the pipes and pipe this into here. We may want to do a functional storage upgrade rather, or like a functional drawer here first, and then push into that. So that way we have like a bigger buffer than just a simple ender chest, because that's still not a lot of storage. So this is probably a better option. So let's just make sure we have output on the top, and then we can grab the pusher upgrade to say up, and then the ender chest there to allow for us to actually get this cruising here. Okay. And then this will slowly run. I mean, this is going to take a while to really get us anywhere, but we should have enough already for a lot of the spirit portion, which is, of course, dropping these in Spirit Fire, which we're going to copy the diamond to Spirit Attuned gems, and then, you know, just have a functional storage drawer full of the Otherworld essence that will then be used for the actual minor repair. So that takes out 2 of the 3 items. The block of Isnium. The block of Isnium, of course, we are going to get Isnium out of the wazoo from this whole shenanigans. So I'm not too worried, but I probably want to take this and put this in a simple compacting drawer so we get Isnium ingots and also Isnium blocks. Simple solution, complete, done, and then that will be fantastic. So I'm going to let this run. Between this episode and next, I will work on getting the Spirit Fire portion complete as well, and also get the other one, the diamond one, hooked up to our A82 system so we can start getting a stockpile of those under for automation. And I may actually do an iron downgrade for that, in all honesty. That way we can just not have a whole lot of these Spirit Attuned crystals, but the Spirit Attuned gems just kind of sitting down there. And of course, you can combine this with like a diamond upgrade to get like 512. I think it's the copper or the diamond that gives you like 512, which would be a perfect amount of Spirit Attuned crystals, because we're not going to be using them too much, but we shall see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a fantastic episode. I'm enjoying getting into this a little bit more. And of course, I know last season we did the occultism miners, but I think this is just going to be beneficial for progressing through modern industrialization just a little bit more cheekily and all of that fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome. And again, we see you in the next one. Bye-bye.